The air in Kofi's hotel room in Timbuktu was thick with dust and anticipation. The city, with its ancient walls and bustling markets, seemed to whisper secrets of its past. Kofi and Abina had been in Timbuktu for a week, exploring historical sites and consulting local historians. Their progress had been slow but promising. Late one evening, as they were poring over old manuscripts, Kofi received an encrypted message on his phone. It was from an unknown number, but contained a chilling warning. "Stop your search now, or face the consequences." Kofi showed the message to Abina, whose face turned pale. "This could be a threat from someone who doesn't want us to find the chamber," she said, her voice trembling slightly. The next morning, Kofi and Abina went to the local market to gather information discreetly. They overheard whispers of a wealthy outsider who was buying influence among the local leaders. "It sounds like someone is trying to manipulate the situation," Abina speculated. "We need to find out who this outsider and what their interest in the chamber might be." Their investigation led them to a grand villa on the outskirts of Timbuktu, where they discovered that the outsider was none other than Kwabena. Kofi's heart raced as he recognized his brother among the visitors. "Kwabena must have been following us," he said. "He's trying to get ahead of us in the search for the chamber." Determined to confront his brother, Kofi and Abina planned to attend a social gathering at the villa, posing as potential investors. At the gathering, Kofi managed to slip into a private conversation between Kwabena and a group of influential local figures. He overheard them discussing their plan to seize control of the hidden chamber's treasures. This chamber could be the key to immense power and wealth, Kwabena said, his voice filled with ambition. "We need to ensure that Kofi and his team don't find it first." Kofi's anger flared, but he knew he had to remain calm. He signaled Abina, and they quietly exited the villa to formulate their next move. Back at their hotel, Kofi and Abina discussed their plan. "We need to stay ahead of Kwabena and ensure that we find the chamber before he does," Abina said. "But we also need to be cautious. He's clearly dangerous." They decided to follow Kwabena's lead and investigate the sites he was interested in, hoping to gain clues about the chamber's location. Their pursuit led them to an ancient library rumored to contain hidden manuscripts. As they searched through dusty tomes, they found references to an underground network of tunnels beneath Timbuktu. These tunnels could be connected to the chamber, Kofi speculated. "If we can find the entrance, we might get ahead of Kwabena." The discovery provided a glimmer of hope, but Kofi and Abina knew they had to act quickly. The competition was fierce, and the stakes were higher than ever. As they prepared to explore the tunnels, Kofi couldn't shake the feeling that their quest had just begun, and the real dangers were still to come. As dawn broke over Timbuktu, Kofi and Abina stood at the edge of a newly discovered tunnel entrance, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The ancient passage loomed darkly before them, hinting at the mysteries it concealed. "We need to be cautious," Abina said, her voice echoing in the stillness. "The tunnels might lead to traps or hidden dangers." With their flashlights illuminating the way, they ventured into the narrow passage. The air grew cooler, and the silence more profound as they dove deeper. The tunnel's walls were adorned with ancient carvings, depicting scenes of grandeur and battles long forgotten. Kofi paused to study them, trying to decipher any clues they might hold. As they proceeded, they encountered a series of dead ends and complex labyrinths. But their perseverance paid off when they discovered a hidden chamber, covered in centuries of dust and debris. The chamber contained a wealth of historical artifacts, ancient manuscripts, relics, and a large stone tablet, inscribed with inscriptions in a language neither Kofi nor Abina recognized. Abina examined the tablet closely. "This could be the key to understanding the map," she said, carefully documenting the inscriptions. Kofi, meanwhile, noticed a faint, metallic gleam in a corner of the chamber. Digging through the dust, he uncovered an ornate chest. His hand shook as he unlocked it with the key from his father. Inside the chest were precious artifacts and documents, but also a cryptic letter from Queen. The letter hinted at a secret that would alter their understanding of the legacy. The letter mentions a hidden location, known only to a few. Kofi read aloud. "We need to find out where this place is, and what it holds." Their excitement was short-lived as they heard voices approaching. They had been followed. Panic set in as they scrambled to hide the artifacts and extinguish their flashlights. The intruders, who turned out to be Kwabina's hired men, searched the chamber but left empty-handed. Kofi and Abina waited in silence until the footsteps faded away. Once it was safe, Kofi and Abina emerged. "Kwabina's men are closing in," Kofi said. "We need to move quickly before they catch up with us." They left the chamber and exited the tunnel, planning their next move. The artifacts and letter hinted at a location outside Timbuktu, leading them to cross borders into neighboring countries. Their journey took them to the verdant landscapes of Ghana and the bustling streets of Accra. There, they sought out local historians and experts who might shed light on the cryptic letter's references. In Accra, they met with Professor Adam, a historian renowned for his knowledge of ancient African cultures. He studied the letter and artifacts, offering insights that pointed towards a hidden location in the dense forests of Ghana. The letter refers to a sacred grove deep within the forest, Professor Adam explained. This place is believed to hold the answers you seek. Armed with new knowledge and a renewed sense of purpose, Kofi and Abina prepared for their next journey into the dense, uncharted forests, knowing that Kwabina's pursuit would only grow more dangerous. As they set off towards the sacred grove, Kofi reflected on the increasing complexity of their quest and the looming threat from Kwabina. The path ahead promised even greater challenges, but he was more resolved than ever to uncover the truth behind his father's legacy. The dense forest of Ghana enveloped Kofi and Abina in its thick canopy. The air humid and alive with the sounds of wildlife. They trekked carefully along the narrow path, their senses alert to every rustle and shadow. After hours of navigating the forest, they arrived at a clearing that matched the descriptions in the letter. At the center stood an ancient, overgrown stone altar, partially obscured by vines and foliage. Abina approached the altar, examining its carvings. "This altar is significant," she said. "It likely marks the entrance to the chamber described in the letter." Kofi carefully brushed aside the vines and discovered a hidden mechanism. "There's a keyhole here," he observed. "It must be for the key we found in Timbuktu." He inserted the ornate key into the lock, turning it slowly. The altar creaked and groaned as a hidden entrance revealed itself beneath it. The entrance led to a narrow staircase. Descending into darkness, Kofi and Abina lit their torches and began their descent, the air growing colder with each step. The staircase opened into a grand underground chamber, its walls adorned with shimmering mosaics, with a central pedestal holding an ornate chest. The chamber was vast and ancient inscriptions. As Kofi and Abina approached the chest, they noticed a series of traps set around it, pressure plates and hidden darts. "We'll need to be very careful," Abina warned. "These traps are designed to protect the chest." Kofi used a stick to trigger the pressure plates from a safe distance, disarming the traps with careful precision. The chest was finally within reach. With the traps neutralized, they opened the chest to reveal ancient scrolls and a beautifully crafted amulet. The scrolls contained detailed accounts. The amulet, engraved with a symbol of unity and power, seemed to be a key to understanding Kwaim's vision. The scrolls spoke of a plan to unite various African tribes through shared wealth and knowledge. "This amulet must be central to the legacy," Kofi said. "It represents Kwaim's vision of unity and prosperity for Africa." As they studied the scrolls, Kofi and Abina discovered references to a hidden archive containing records of alliances and agreements made by Kwaim with various tribes. Realizing the importance of this information, they knew they had to protect it and ensure it reached the right hands. But before they could make plans, they heard footsteps echoing in the distance. Kwabina and his men had found the entrance to the chamber. The tension mounted as Kofi and Abina hurriedly gathered the scrolls and amulet, preparing to escape. They navigated back through the tunnels, avoiding detection. As Kwabina's men searched the chamber, the escape was fraught with danger, and the forest offered little solace from their pursuers. Emerging from the forest, Kofi and Abina raced towards their vehicle, their hearts racing as they sped away from the area. They knew they had narrowly escaped capture. Once safely back at their hotel, Kofi and Abina reviewed the scrolls and amulet. They realized that the true challenge lay ahead, not only uncovering Quaim's vision, but also ensuring it would be protected from those who sought to exploit it. The stakes were higher than ever. Kofi knew that Kwabina's pursuit would only become more relentless, and the secrets they had uncovered would play a crucial role in shaping Africa's future.